In 1930, Albert Einstein wrote a letter to his son Eduard. He didn't write about relativity, gravity, or the cosmos. He wrote about how to survive the chaos of the human mind. He revealed that the reason you feel unstable isn't because you're moving too fast. It's because you've stopped moving at all. Welcome to Practical Wisdom Daily. We all face moments where life hits us hard. Career setbacks, heartbreak, or just that heavy feeling of being stuck. Our instinct is often to freeze, to wait for the storm to pass. But Einstein, the master of physics, knew that stasis is the enemy of stability. Today, we are breaking down his most famous metaphor regarding resilience. By the end of this video, you will understand the neuroscience of momentum and how to regain your balance, not by stopping, but by pushing forward. But first, we have to understand why doing nothing feels so heavy. Einstein's quote is famous. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. It sounds simple, but it is rooted in the physical law of stability. A bicycle at rest falls over. A bicycle in motion naturally corrects itself. Neurologically, your brain treats stagnation as a threat. When you stop engaging with goals or challenges, your brain's default mode network goes into overdrive. This is the part of the brain responsible for rumination and worry. Without a task or movement to focus on, your mind attacks itself. You don't lose balance because life is hard. You lose balance because you stop directing your energy. Let this sink in. Keep moving does not mean hustle culture. It doesn't mean burnout or frantic busyness. It means directional intent. You can move slowly, but you must move. Imagine you've lost your job. The freeze response makes you stay in bed, scrolling social media. The longer you stay still, the scarier the world looks. You start wobbling. Break the inertia. Do not try to fix your life today. Just create one single vector of movement. Send one email. Wash one dish. The action creates the stability, not the other way around. However, most of us refuse to move because we are waiting for something that doesn't exist. We convince ourselves we are preparing. We research, we plan, we worry. But Einstein teaches us that balance is a dynamic process, not a static one. You cannot balance a bicycle while it is parked in the garage. This is what psychologists call analysis paralysis. When you overthink without acting, your cortisol levels spike because your brain perceives a problem but sees no solution. Action, even imperfect action, flushes cortisol and releases dopamine. Movement signals to your nervous system that you are in control. The trap here is perfectionism. We think we need to know the destination before we pedal. You don't. You just need to know how to pedal. The balance comes during the ride, not before. Think of a writer staring at a blank page, waiting for inspiration. The balance of the story doesn't come from thinking. It comes from typing bad sentences until good ones appear. Adopt the 10% rule. If you want to start a business, do 10% of it today. If you want to get fit, do 10% of the workout. Abandon the need to be ready. Just be moving. Once you start moving, a strange phenomenon happens. The fog clears. Einstein knew that you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Sometimes, you cannot think your way out of a rut. You have to move your way out. There is a concept called bilateral stimulation. It's why walking helps us think. The rhythmic movement of left, right engages both hemispheres of the brain, allowing you to process trapped emotions and complex thoughts. Stagnation breeds confusion. Movement breeds clarity. When you are sitting on the couch worrying, you are trying to solve a 3D problem in a 2D state. You are trying to balance the bike while standing still. It's physically impossible. Have you ever been in a heated argument or a moment of intense anxiety? Sitting there makes it worse. But if you go for a walk or a run, suddenly the solution appears. The movement stabilized your mind. Next time you feel mentally stuck or unbalanced, physically move. Do not sit and think. Go for a 10-minute walk. Force the bicycle forward and watch how your mind naturally corrects its balance. But movement isn't just about feeling better. It's the only way to steer. A fundamental rule of mechanics is that you cannot steer a vehicle that isn't moving. If you are stationary, turning the wheel does nothing. In life, we often want to change direction, but we refuse to move until we know the turn is safe. This is about predictive processing. Your brain is a prediction machine. It needs data to make good decisions. It only gets data from interacting with the world. When you stay still, your brain has no data, so it hallucinates worst-case scenarios. Action provides the data you need to steer. This means you might have to pedal in the wrong direction briefly to get enough momentum to turn in the right direction. That is okay. Movement is correctable. Stagnation is terminal. You hate your career, but you don't know what else to do, so you wait. That is the parked car. Applying for a job, even one you don't take, gives you data. It tells you what you're worth and what's out there. Now you can steer. Make a low-stakes mistake this week. Try a hobby you might quit. Talk to a stranger. Generate data so your brain has something to work with. Finally, we arrive at the ultimate truth of the bicycle metaphor. The hills, when you are riding a bike. Hitting a bump while moving slowly can knock you off, but hitting that same bump with speed, you roll right over it. This is the dopaminergic reward loop. Success breeds success. When you maintain momentum, your brain releases dopamine, which acts as a buffer against pain and stress. Momentum is a shield. It makes the obstacles of life feel smaller because your kinetic energy is greater than the obstacle. This isn't about ignoring pain. It's about knowing that stopping to wallow in the pain makes the restart twice as hard. It takes much more energy to start a stopped bike than to keep a moving one going. During grief or tragedy, the people who survive best are those who keep small routines. They make the coffee, they walk the dog. These tiny momentums protect them from total collapse. Protect your momentum. Never have a zero day. Even on your worst day, do one tiny thing that moves the needle forward. Keep the wheels turning, however slowly. Albert Einstein wasn't just teaching us physics. He was teaching us how to live. We learned that stagnation creates biological fear. We learned that you cannot steer a parked car, and that clarity only comes from action. We learned that balance is not something you find, it is something you create through motion. Life will always have bumps. The road will always be uneven. If you stop, you will fall. But if you keep pedaling, even slowly, even with tears in your eyes, you will stay upright. You will find your balance. What is the one area of your life where you have stopped pedaling? Tell us in the comments below. Naming it is the first step to moving it. If this video helped you find your balance, please like and subscribe for more daily wisdom. Keep moving, my friends.